Well, I'd like to follow up on my last video and also on Joe's most recent video here. Today is the anniversary, a bad anniversary of September 11th, and so I'm going to try to keep this pretty short and on target. My last video was too long. And with the, relentless propaganda tonight on television and not even delving into what might have caused this and why people are so resentful of the United States. I'd like to point you to some essays by an author named Arthur Silber. I have mentioned him before. He writes on a blog called The Power of Narrative. Power of Narrative. Look it up on the internet. So I'm going to read you a few excerpts tonight, which I think are pretty pertinent for today, and particularly for the future. And as Jill said, the war with Iran is coming, and so you need to listen to perhaps different perspectives than what you hear on the mainstream news. And this is one of those perspectives. And I'm going to read you a couple of excerpts here. From the Department of Not Going to Happen. This is by Arthur Silber from his blog. He wrote this in August of this year. I admire Dave Lindorf for his unrelenting opposition to the increasingly authoritarian war-making state and for his tenacity in demanding accountability from the numerous members of the Bush crime gang. And while he is right about what ought to happen, this will remain in the realm of fantasy. He goes on to say that this Congress will not impeach anyone. Nope, not going to happen. Besides, something else rather more monumental is going to happen. And, this is what we've been talking about. The coming war with Iran. Will the Democrats oppose the next chapter in our endless wars? If you ask the question, you haven't been paying attention at all. Of course, if the Democrats had any convictions that were genuinely opposed to the corporatist authoritarian warfare state, they would begin impeachment proceedings, they would have, against Bush and particularly Cheney immediately upon Congress's return to work in September. Because impeachment is deserved 1,000 times over in both cases. And because such proceedings might make an attack on Iran less likely. That would also assume that the Washington Democrats had some strategic smarts. This is Arthur Silber talking. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up my words. I'm tired tonight. Democrats with deeply held convictions that impelled them to principled actions are now almost nowhere to be seen. They are clever about the implementation of plans, one that didn't concern an election, that demanded their careful attention. But what have they done since they have gotten into power? The essay continues, sorry, this is Arthur talking, sorry, I had to collapse to the floor. in helpless laughter for a few minutes, and then slowly pull myself back up, so I could get to the keyboard. The attack on Iran will now almost certainly happen, probably in the next 6 months or so. And for all these other questions in terms of impeachment, no. Time for dinner. Time for a drink. Time to just forget it all and be cheerful. Good night.